Hello everyone and welcome back to another Spraycasso tutorial. Alright, I'm very excited to be here. I'm very excited to see you guys here. We have a very special tutorial for you guys. This is a master level painting. The name of this painting is called A Simple Daydream. Now you're going to be able to see different techniques that I haven't showed you guys before, and that is how to make the water look see-through. We're also going to be talking about the importance of a light source and the importance of keeping your highlights consistent with this light source. I'm also going to show you how to create more realistic looking trees. It's a lot of fun, guys. So if you guys are ready, grab your spray paints, your masks. Let's begin. Okay, crew. Now here I went ahead and I added some colors, but basically we're going to stick with the same pattern. You're going to go ahead and put some yellow, and then you're going to mix some green at the end of this yellow, and that'll give us the effect that there's sunlight coming into and blending into the green. Even though we're doing it backwards, right? Because we're blending the green into the yellow. All right, now I'm going to begin to create more of a transition by blending blue at the end of this green. This is going to be the basic sky colors that we're going to be working with. Just like that. All right. Now, I'm going to add a black layer. Usually, what this helps me do is with the black, it helps me define the plant life that is closer to us, a vanishing point perhaps. See, like right here, as you can see, it's already starting to take shape. You can see the plant life here closer to us, and then the sky colors in the background. One of the most important things to take care of here is to remember where your light source is coming from. This is very important because light source will determine where the highlights in our painting needs to be. And this is something that you need to keep track of, guys, whether you're doing an earth scenery or a space scenery. Now, what I have here is just a piece of sea sponge. And you can buy this at any arts and crafts store. I'm just going to use a little bit of green here. And see, you don't need to use a lot of it, just a small piece, and this will last you for many paintings. Usually it comes in a ball about that big. You just need a little piece, guys. That's all it takes. Okay, so I'm just going to tap into some green here. And I'm going to create some plant life here in the background. Grass strands, just random bushes. With a magazine sheet, guys, this is going to be a pretty cool little trick that I use. You can either buy brown or you can mix your own brown. I like to mix my own colors, guys. It doesn't mean I don't have it, but I'll show you why it's better to mix your own colors. A little bit of orange and black on top will give you the brown, but it will also give you very natural looking highlights. See that? So you see the brown, but you also see highlights throughout it. Just add a little bit here, smear it down. Then just to add some more highlights to it, guys, spray paint a little bit of orange off on the side and add some extra highlights. It's that simple. See, so you've killed two birds with one stone, as they say, right? Now then, I'm going to create the light source. So we have the sky in the background, but now we have the light source coming in. Now, usually you can use this with the straight edge, but I'm using what I call a flexible straight edge. And this can be anything, as long as it's solid enough that it'll allow you to keep a straight line. Okay. Now you don't want to concentrate your spray paint onto the painting, guys. Remember, you want to bounce it off the straight edge. Now we have the light source. We know where the sun rays are coming in from. So with a little bit of yellow and white mixed together, we're going to go through and just add the highlights throughout different parts of our painting. Make sure that the light is hitting it, guys. You don't want to create too much highlights because then it just looks like a snowy scenery. So just here, certain peaks of the trees, certain parts of the bushes. All right. And you also want to add this to little grass strands throughout your painting, right? Because heck, even grass strands get some highlights. All right, now guys, I'm going to show you how to create transparent looking water using the same sea sponge that I used to create my highlights. Same. Absolutely nothing's changed. A little bit of yellow and white mixed together. I'm just going to create some ripples here in thin air. Now see, your mind is automatically saying, hey, you can't have ripples in thin air. So it automatically starts assuming, oh, this is water. So now you've created a thin layer of water. Now I'm just gonna add a little bit of white here. Remember, my sponge already has a little bit of that yellow that we put down earlier, so just gonna add a few more ripples just to create it more realistic, right? Because when you look into the water, you see a lot more ripples where the light is hitting it. Now the reason I chose the same color as the highlights is because it's the same light hitting it. So you don't want to change that, guys. You want to try and keep everything the same. It's the same light source, the same colors. Now with the Spraycasso funnel, I know a lot of you guys have been using the folded sheet technique. Bad thing about the folded sheet technique, guys, it doesn't hold near as much spray paint as the funnel does. All right. Now I've had a lot of questions as to why were you calling everything you made, you know, the Spraycasso funnel, the Spraycasso tool. Well, because I didn't have a name for it, guys. I wasn't very creative. I figured, well, I'm Spraycasso, I made it, Spraycasso tools. But you can call it whatever you guys want. It's just a funnel. Here I just added a little bit of black to create the tree. Or you know what? Actually, I think it was a little bit of brown mixed with black to give us a really dark looking effect. Then I spray painted some yellow into the funnel. Now I'm mixing it into the black background that we added. Now look at that texture on that tree. And all you're doing is you just go up and down the same tree. And the tip of the funnel will start mixing it as well. So you can actually use it to help you manipulate the paint and create more defined bark effects, as well as better and more natural looking highlights. All right, guys. So now we have the background, light source, highlights. Now we're working on the layers that are closest to us. Okay, a little bit of black, little bit of blue. See, there I go, making my own paints, right? Some green. Okay, now I'm just gonna tear off a piece of magazine here and just gonna tap into that. You know what, let's add some orange here on the side. Okay, and black. You guys remember this, right? This is what we use to create that little creek in the background. Now I'm just gonna add a little bit of yellow, and this will give it more defined highlights. So magazine sheet, tear off a piece. You don't need a whole lot. The better you get with these guys, you'll notice that the less materials you'll use. Now look at that. And you see, it already has a very natural highlight effect to it. Okay. Now here I'm just gonna run this into the water. I have an idea of what I want to see, and I want to see this dirt going into the water here on the bottom. So I'm just gonna tap right here. Now I'm starting to tap into those darker colors up above. That will give us darker terrain. And since there's a lot of green and blue into it, it'll give us the effect of perhaps mud, perhaps plant life. It'll also give us the ability to, using just a magazine sheet, to create darker effects, you know, shadings. Look at that. And if you guys are ever out there by a lake, you'll see that there's different colors of mud. Very colorful. I like colorful, so I'm gonna make this a very colorful painting. Okay, and see, guys, it's not very hard. All I'm doing is just smearing the paints together. Yeah, just like that. Okay, see, that is a very complex mixture, and it was very simple. One of the best things that I like about spray paint is how fast you can create effects using everyday household items. You know, you don't have to buy expensive brushes. Here's your brush, piece of magazine. A little bit of sea sponge. If you need to add some more highlights, well, this is how you do it. And the painting begins to take life. All right guys, so now then, this is our green. I'm gonna give our water the effect that it is reflecting the colors from the sky. This is a rule of thumb, guys. Whatever colors you have on your sky, you want to have the same colors on your painting, especially if you're doing water. You want those colors to reflect on the painting here. Now I'm just adding a little bit of color, not completely vanishing the see-through effect, but look how much depth you are able to add to your painting just by adding a little bit, covering the dead white space on your painting with a little bit of green and blue. Now here I added a couple of layers using the same tree technique that I used earlier. You can see I added some trees here onto our right and a small branch on our left. I also worked on our first tree a little bit more to add more realistic effect to it. Okay, now with a little bit of black, let's add some more black here. Okay, we're gonna create the tree leaves. Now the effect is very simple, guys. To create tree leaves, you just have to go to the left and then to the right. Add a little bit of curvature just to give it some more realism. You don't want to make them flat. That's a mistake I've seen a lot of spray painters do out there. They get a foam brush and they make some very flat looking trees. So you wanna not try and do that. Now another thing, don't be afraid to do this, guys. Using the sea sponge, I am making the grass go into the water. Here in Carlsbad, New Mexico, where I live, there is a river that goes through. And if you look through it, you'll see a very similar landscape, and the grass always goes, into it. Now, using the same technique, guys, we added some highlights to these trees. That was just, a little bit of yellow and white. And you want to go throughout your painting. Let's take a closer look at that. You want to go throughout your painting here and add those highlights. It's very important. Now let's take a look at that water and that. See, look at that. See how it looks like it's very see-through. Very realistic, guys. Take a closer look at that tree. That's why it's important to have the right tools, guys. And well, there you folks have it. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's tutorial. Thank you for watching, and like always, keep those cans shaking, guys. Until next time.